What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning back into another episode of The Loud Bostonian. Today, I'm going to be doing my review of the Happytime Murders. The Happytime Murders is a buddy cop movie starring Melissa McCarthy and a puppet. It's set in this fictitious world where, in California at least, puppets and humans live side by side. Not a crazy concept when you think of movies like the Muppets movies and other things that have been made over the years, but this is a much different movie than those. It's made by the son of Jim Henson, so it definitely has some tie-ins, but they were all pissed off that he was making this movie because it is a hard R. And I have to say, I thought this movie was fantastic. It's not the best comedy ever made. It's not. But there's enough crazy scenes with these puppets doing things that you wouldn't expect them to do that it is totally worth you going to check out. The critics have been bashing this movie. I think it's at 25% of Rotten Tomatoes, as it was last night. And this movie is so much better than that. Like, honestly, it's got a pretty good plot. The actual plot of this movie is pretty good. At its core, it is a buddy cop movie. It's a buddy cop movie harkened to the 80s buddy cop movies like Lethal Weapon, Tango and Cash, those kinds of movies. It's very good. I really enjoyed it. The main character is a puppet named Philip Phillips. Not the American Idol singer, but so he's this blue puppet. He was the first puppet ever to be a cop, allowed to be a cop. Because in this world that they live in, puppets are very segregated, and it's shown right from the beginning. There's only a few jobs puppets can get, and he was a groundbreaking detective, best marksman in his class sort of deal, and Melissa McCarthy was his partner. When this movie picks up, they've had a split. Years ago, something happened. Melissa McCarthy was held at gunpoint, and Philip Phillips he couldn't pull the trigger and kill another puppet. At least that's the way that the story's told. So they have a split. She's still a cop. He's now a private investigator. And the actual plot of this movie is that there was a show back in the 80s or 70s called the Happytime Gang, and in this show, a bunch of puppets were working with humans, and it was one of the most widely accepted shows that puppets and humans together were working on. So it's kind of a big deal in the puppet community, and someone's going around and killing the members of the Happytime Gang. Philip Phillips gets brought into this because another case he's working on brings him to one of the crime scenes where these murders have been occurring. It's a pretty good movie going through, and it's got a pretty... as soon as the twist is made available, it was so obvious, but it is a very good movie, and as far as comedies go this year, I haven't seen one that I thought was funnier. As far as buddy cop movies go, obviously it's not as good as Lethal Weapon, it's not as good as... It's probably as good as Tango and Cash, honestly, but it's definitely just like one of those. It's like... It has a really good feel. If you love those kinds of movies, you're going to like this movie. I don't want to get into any spoilers onto the actual plot because with a very short movie like this, it's an hour-and-a-half runtime, so it's an in-and-out movie. So you guys honestly will have if you just want to see something quick that maybe you don't have time for the movies for like a 2-hour extravaganza, this movie's really quick, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't want to get into spoilers with it because, especially with comedies, if you spoil comedies, then really what is there to go and see it for? You know, I could spoil an action scene for you, and then you'd still maybe want to see that action scene. If I spoil a joke for you, I mean, who really wants to go and see that? So, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but I can tell you right now that some of the funniest bits in this movie are the ones you haven't seen in the trailers. Now, there are some bits from the trailers that are they're crazy. They're crazy. When he's having sex when the puppet is having sex in his office, and they use the spray foam gag, that is just as funny in the scene as it is from the trailer, and it's out of this world. There's one joke I'll ruin for you. One joke. And it's not even a very important joke, and no one in the theater laughed at it except for me apparently. But there's a point where an FBI agent, Joel McHale, has a gun pointed at Melissa McCarthy's character because she's coming out of this place, and he suspects her to be a criminal at this point. He's wearing thick aviator sunglasses, and he tells her to put her gun down. She puts her gun down immediately, and then stands back up. And he's still yelling at her to put her gun down, like 3 or 4 times. And then she's looking around at the other FBI agents, and she's like, "Hey, dipshits, you mind telling this guy telling Stevie Ray Vaughan here that I don't have a gun, I put my gun down?" And Joel McHale, not missing a beat, yells at her. He's like, Stevie Ray Vaughan wasn't blind, you asshole. It's like, it's such a good part of this movie. It was just so fun. I was dying laughing because obviously the disconnect is she meant Ray Charles, and he knows that. But as someone who likes Stevie Ray Vaughan's music, it just made me laugh hysterically. And that again, that's probably not going to make everybody die laughing, but it was just an idea of the kind of goofiness of this movie and the vulgarness. But I thought it was a very good movie. I thought the character Philip Phillips was actually pretty good. He's actually one of the best portrayals of a cop I've seen in years. It was done by a puppet, and some of the puppeteering is just out of this world. Like, literally, they have guys walking down the street, and they did it with having people in green, full green mocap suits so that you couldn't see them. But they literally just have, like, because he's like a 3.5-foot puppet. He's just walking down the street. So, it's a very good movie. I had a great time with it. I hope you guys can run out and see it. If you do, please hit that subscribe button. Please like. Please comment below. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what your favorite goofy movie like this is. This movie probably isn't as funny to me as Team America was back in the day, but it's damn close, and it's probably a better story. But again, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for tuning in.